Okay, so I just received this email from Clark Kegley, productivity notion guy, something along those lines. That I follow his emails. I read. It's one of the emails that I am more prone to read. I think he has some often really good points. I got a little bit provoked by his email today, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the challenge he posted in this emails. What it is that he says that, and I'm gonna link to his channel here as well, right? But he says the hidden 38% of life you're probably wasting. Okay, let's see what he talks about. And then he has this very nice graph that says that we all have 8,760 hours in any given year. And we use about 20% of that, 29% of that for work. If we have a 50-hour work week, we spend about 33% of that sleeping, given a 8 hours a night sleep schedule. And then we have 38% left. And my first thought was like, fuck no. That's like way too simplified. And working as a success strategist, this is actually an exercise I also give people, like, let's try to map out your time. So I've also done it myself, but I'm going to do it again because he goes on and is like, so what are you actually using that time for? The reason I kind of is because what about walking the dog? What about the family? What about, so just saying work and sleep, and then you have 38% that you have control over. I think that's pushing it. I have to say, and I know that everything in life is a choice. And if you have a family, that's a choice you've made. And that is why we go where we go. And like, that's why there's a choice we previously made. So that means that we are now in the situation that we don't have that time available because we have to take care of the kids, or in my case, the dog or the duck. It doesn't need a lot of taking care of, to be honest. But I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go. So he is saying, for the next 7 days, I want you to track everything you do in 30 minutes increments. Sure, let's give it a go. Um, it's gonna be interesting. So I need to figure out the best way to do this, because sometimes I can't, like in a client meeting or something, I can of course kind of pre-fill that out, but I also know I will have a tendency to forget things. So I think I'm just gonna do like a 30-minute timer every fucking waking hour. I'm gonna get fucking annoyed by that, but if it makes me track, then let's try it. And this is just the whole idea with this exercise, is also to become aware of all of the shitty things that we do, right? Where do we have time wasters that we could actually create into productive time? Or do we spend too much time? That's another question. Do we spend too much time doing things where we should be relaxing more? Another thing, right? Okay, so he goes on and says there's 3 rules. Before we do this, let's say rule 1, do not alter your weeks. The idea here is, of course, to get a accurate look at what it is. I want to say that, again, I think this is really hard because just the fact that you are aware means that you're going to alter your behavior, right? But keep as much as possible to the week I already have planned and what I'm going to do. And by the way, this is Sunday. Yes, I'm going to start this on a Sunday because right now I'm in the mood. I have the motivation. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start today. And then rule number 2 is look for patterns. So we shouldn't obsess, but when we look through all 7 days, what are the patterns? So yes, there might be one day where we fall in and scroll for 3 hours. By the way, not the best decision, but we need to look for patterns as well, because when we're looking for patterns and habits, are there any triggers? What is it that makes me scroll for 3 hours? There's probably a trigger there, right? Other than when I get into the scrolling, the dopamine, right? So those are the kind of patterns we're looking for as well. What is it that, in the positive sense, the positive habits, what are the cues? What is it that gets us into those as well? And the last rule is to stay curious, not critical. So even when there are things that are maybe not optimal in what you've been doing, then don't think like, I need to change everything at once. Try to start thinking about, okay, so what's the cue that I was just talking about, but also how can I actually change that? How can I make that into something that makes sense? And what can I create a different cue? Can I change this so that the cue makes me stop and make another choice instead? And be curious on how you can improve that. So of course, the idea with this is not that you have 38%, which is kind of, and this is good marketing, right? This is good copywriting because it's like, I don't agree. But the whole point here is not that you have 38% of your time, but the idea is to become aware of how you spend that time and if it's actually going towards what you really want to spend your time on. So we're going to do it. We're going to jump in and share beneath. If you want to do this experiment with me, I'm going to post this video today. I was thinking I'm going to post this video with everything is done and everything. No, I'm going to do this. I'm going to create accountability for myself. So I'm going to post this video today. And then I am going to post the update. So I'm going to do a how did it go video. And then if you want to follow along, if you want to do this with me, let me know in the comments. Even if you're seeing this a month or two from now, then do the same thing. Do it. Create an overview. Make a schedule in your journal where it's like time frame from 5 a.m. to whenever, 30-minute intervals, and I can write in everything, right? And then for the weekdays. And it's super easy to just create that in Google Docs as well. Two things that I want you to do if you want to follow me along here. One thing is, if you're doing this yourself, then let me know, what do you think before doing this challenge? What do you think that you're using your time on? What is it that you think that your best habit and your worst habit is? I would love to know that. And I would also love to know whether you're doing this or not. What do you think my best habit and my worst habit will be? Because that is what I'm going to try and figure out in this next week. So one of the things that I actually do want to say that I like about this email is that it seems very focused on not necessarily just entrepreneurs. It's like 50-hour work week. That can be anything, right? You can have a job, you can have transportation, all that. I have my own company. So this is also a very good way for me to kind of figure out, does that resonate, those 50 hours a week? Do I work more? Do I work less? The same for you. Whether you have a job, this can be a really interesting thing to audit as well. So you can choose, again, one of two ways here. You can choose to say, I'm just going to write work. Whenever I'm at work, I'm going to write work on there. Or maybe in collaboration with your boss, you could say, I'm actually going to track what I do at work as well, to create that overview for yourself at work so that you all of a sudden also can see, could I optimize here? And maybe there's actually some information here that you can use to negotiate a raise. Look at what am I actually doing? And what is it that my contract says I should be doing? Am I doing way different things? Am I doing way more? Am I doing less? Then don't tell anyone, I guess. But what is it, so that you can use this for yourself? So let's jump in. Let's maybe do this together. It's going to be amazing. See, now I can set a little bit of video on my AM slot here today. So with fucking excitement, let's do this, and I'll see you in the next video.